What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again, and today we're gonna go on ahead and assemble the Power Rangers. Yes, you heard me correctly. One of the most common requests that I get, whether it be in the comment section on previous videos or via Twitter and Instagram, is, hey Blitz, could you go on ahead and possibly try to add a Lego version of the Power Rangers into Lego DC Supervillains? So today, that is exactly what we shall do. Now, as far as the actual team that we're putting together today, we have the original, MMPR, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as the team. Now, I will be honest, this team was before my time. I did watch Power Rangers growing up. I think the season that I really remember specifically was Lightspeed Rescue, I think it was called. So that was my personal season that I started to watch Power Rangers in. But regardless, today we're going to take a look at the MMPR version, since that is the most popular and that is the most iconic version of the characters. So first of all, let's run through 4 of the Power Rangers that I've already built, and then I'm going to explain to you guys how to build them, and we're going to put together the Red Ranger as the last one. So first and foremost, here we have the Blue Ranger, looking pretty awesome. He did have this giant sort of staff, so that's the idea behind that weapon choice there. Then we have the Pink Ranger, who for some reason doesn't have the skirt piece anymore, so we're gonna need to adjust that. But here's the Pink Ranger, and she had a bow as her powered up weapon. So she's looking pretty cool, if I must say so myself. And then let's move right along to the Yellow Ranger, who had daggers as her weapons, and there she goes. She's got the skirt piece, so that's pretty accurate there. And this is the Yellow Ranger of the team. Then we have the Black Ranger, who's actually up here, who had an axe. So obviously we went ahead and gave him the axe weapon as his weapon, or powered up weapon of choice. So pretty straightforward. We got the assembly there of the 4 different Rangers. And of course, as far as abilities or anything like that, you can pick and choose whatever you personally would like. So if there's certain abilities that you think are incorrect, or you want to have them have specific powers, you can add that as well. Now, with that being said, let's head over to the customizer and actually show you guys how to build these characters so that you can do them yourselves. And then in addition to that, don't forget, guys, if you have your own take on the character, you can always share those on Instagram or Twitter at Blitzwinger. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. With that also in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, take a quick moment to leave a like on this video. That would really help out a ton. Let's try to reach 500 likes. I know we can do that. And with that in mind, let's get rocking and rolling with today's design. So the first thing we're going to do in order to put the Red Ranger together is give him a sword, because he did use a sword. I'm trying to think which sword would probably make the most amount of sense here. So, well, actually, maybe we should go red on that. So I think that one would work. You could probably go with this one as well. I think that one works pretty well. So whichever one you personally, I guess, prefer and think looks best. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get to the actual design of the character. So the character is actually, relatively speaking, pretty straightforward. It's not too complicated. So you're going to start with adjusting the gloves design. Then on the arms side of things, because the MMPR characters, they have a lot of kind of diamond patterns all over the costumes. We're trying to replicate that to a certain extent. This is more triangular and such, but we're trying to get as close as possible to that design. So we're going to keep the sleeves white, but then obviously the rest of the costume is going to be red. So that looks pretty accurate. We do need to actually remove the cape from this character, so let's get rid of that real quick. Then we're going to proceed to the leg piece. So for the leg piece, you can go a multitude of different ways. If you want, of course, you could try to find a leg piece that will be more specific to a certain boot design or whatever it might be. In my opinion, the one that actually looks the most accurate, oddly enough, at the end of the day, is just the plain two-tone design, where you're just going to go red on the top half of the leg, and then the boots are white, and it works plenty well. Then you're going to recolor the hips, actually. Instead of trying to find a hip piece that is going to have a belt on it or anything like that, you're just going to go literally plain red if you're building the Red Ranger. Whatever color you're going to build here, if you're going to do the pink or blue or etc., then you would obviously adjust that to just be one solid color. Then we're going to go over to the torso. Now, with the torso, I think the thing that works best is to just go with this torso so that you actually get the belt buckle looking part of the costume. And then all you have to do is just add a decal. And unfortunately, you can only add one decal. It would have been cool if you could add a multitude of them, because then it would look even more accurate. But you're just going to add the one diamond pattern, and there you go. Now, from there, we now have to adjust the face design. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn that off. Then we're going to go to the face selection. So for the face that I think looks the most accurate out of the entire bunch and kind of works well, because we're trying to get that kind of mask look down below, we're going to go with this red, or recolored into red, which is just the Phantasm face. And I know it looks a little bit more villainous than what we're aiming for, so that's why we're going to add a helmet on top of the character. And in this case, I think that the helmet that looks the best overall is actually the Flash movie helmet. So all you're going to do is just recolor it so that it's an all red design. I guess you could kind of go two tones on this, maybe, if you want, just so it kind of blends in a little bit better there. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, because you have just built yourself a Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. One more thing that we do need to adjust, and that is actually over here on the Pink Ranger. We need to add the skirt piece, which I think is over here. So that just gets recolored. And there you go. So we've adjusted that as well. So with that in mind, let me go on ahead and show you guys the Red Ranger here in just a second, so we can see what that one turned out like. Of course, like I mentioned at the very top of the video, if you guys have your own take on these characters, you can share them over on Twitter, Instagram. It's at Blitzwinger. So if you're going to tweet or tag the images, make sure that you certainly do so, because that's the only way that I can see them. Because oftentimes I do get messages from people that say, "Hey bro, did you see the design that I made?" I'm like, I don't think you tagged me, so I would not be able to see it. But there we are with the Red Ranger. So he's looking pretty epic, looking very, very, very cool indeed. And of course, that now completes the entire MMPR team of the LEGO DC Supervillains Customs. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.